Okay, I'm almost ready to end the review as it is right now. What is up? Welcome to Cutting Up. I am your host Mac, and I want to thank you for checking out this content. We are reviewing another Brio product. This is the Beardscape V2. This one is a trimmer, and we're gonna check out what this one says on the box, open it up, put it through its paces, see if it makes a cut really quickly just reading around the box and looking at the presentation. Simple background on white, not a lot of like new, flash, sale, or any of that kind of gimmicky stuff all around the box. So it does have a high-end look and feel to it. My previous experience with a Brio product was a bit of a mixed bag, just because there was things that I really liked and there was one major thing that I was not a fan of. This one, we're going to be seeing what this trimmer is about. This has 5 speed settings, responsive controls, informative display, compact size. So if it does give us the same display as it has here, it has the RPMs on the front as well as the runtime. And in the picture here, it's showing 224 minutes. So that is quite a bit of time. I'm going to see exactly how long we need to charge it for and how much actual runtime we'll get out of it. It does say extra quiet here. Again, that will be up to us to judge that. We will definitely put that to the test. Low frequency blades, balance, spindle, and insulated motor make this Beardscape one of the most quiet trimmers available. That is a big claim. Now, I am never really that put off by how quiet a trimmer is, as long as it's not rattling like something is wrong with it, or I'm not disturbing someone who's not even in the room with me. But I know some people are bothered by frequencies, and if you can get it to be quiet, then why not, right? Get a full charge within 3 hours, the lithium ion battery, so it should be fairly lightweight and a long runtime, and it is boasting a long runtime here. It says lasts up to 4 hours on one charge, so 3 hours for a full charge, and then gives you an extra hour of runtime. Then it says dial it in with the built-in adjustable. You can go between 1 to 1.9 millimeters. So I'm guessing it has some kind of dial on the adjustment for the heights on which you can get on there. What I like about the idea of that, if you have like a dialed in system, that's just one thing less for you to lose instead of having like 20 combs. So what comes in the box? Of course, we have the instructions. We have where you can register and get 10% off your order here. There is a nice heft to this. This feels not heavy, but it feels like a high quality trimmer, almost commercial grade or professional grade as far as weight. There's people that might not like that. For me, it doesn't feel cheap, and as I predicted, it does come with a base for you to charge it. It does look like it has the same prongs that they had previously in the other Brio. So they are using one charger, so you can plug that directly into the trimmer itself, or you can use the stand here. The stand is actually pristine looking, and here is where you charge it in the back. So it does look like it has a travel lock. It looks like you can hold it down for about 2 to 3 seconds and it will turn on. The display is exactly how it shows on the box. Really liking the feel of this, really liking how the display seems to look. At the bottom there it says 240 minutes, and then it shows the RPM and a little bit of Brio there. The back has a little bit of gripping on it without being overly aggressive. The sides have some really well thought out, not only gripping but a different texture, almost like a soft padding on it, so it's not just hard plastic. This feels high end. Of course, here is the charger and some oil, and a good amount of oil at that. Usually they give you this little tiny thing to lubricate the blades. This is a decent amount. Brio is really coming through so far. Okay, I'm almost ready to end the review as it is right now, because unless this does a horrible job on my beard, this is probably already going to make the cut and be worth it just on this alone. Here is the charger here. Like I said, they are using a universal charger. The cord looks long enough, but why am I saying that I'm ready to stop the review? The one thing that I've been complaining about, and I've even complained about in my previous Brio, they gave you the damn power brick. I understand this is not only sold in North America. There are different plug systems for our people over in Europe, India, all over. My whole thing without having the brick system, I know there are some plugs that now have a USB built into it, but until that becomes the norm, just giving me this has me searching around for this. To see this in the box is chef's kiss. They are starting this review off right for me, so I might have been wrong. It looks like this might come with combs as well. I have come across trimmers in the past that didn't have combs, they just had a ratcheting system. They do have some quite thick combs on here. One thing I'm noticing that is a bit peculiar on these combs is that while the device itself looks very much like a traditional trimmer, the combs seem to go in two different directions. I get it. This is why I guess we should read through the instructions first. So what they did to simplify here is a little bit of ingenuity. Instead of giving you 12 combs, 20 combs, they're giving me 5 combs, and between those 5 combs you get what would be 10 different comb settings. If you look on here, that says 1 and 2. So depending on the side that you slide it into, that would be 1. And then if you turned it around, then you'd get the other one. So this is a little bit of ingenuity, a little bit of smarts on their part, and it is labeled very well. Not only is it on the side there, but it's actually telling you dummy proof that if you're sliding this side in, that would be 2. That would be 1 millimeter. Here's 4 and 5. Here is 3 and here is 6. There's 12 and 9 going up to 18 and 15. So they still jump some numbers, but give you variety without so many different pieces. There is on the system itself a measurement system there that looks like you can slide this up and down on the device there. And it's very subtle. I'm not sure if you guys are seeing it move. It's marked very well. Here are the buttons. Obviously, you have your power button, your display down here, 2 buttons on the side. So far I am impressed with what I have seen in the box. The fact that they gave you our actual real brush, not one of those little cheap little fine brushes. The amount of oil again was generous, and the charger. So they have on the Beardscape the cutting length, and then it will tell you what theirs will do, and then it has over here some other brands like Wall, Oster, and Adnis, and it'll kind of tell you if they have something comparable. It's a little difficult to read. It's more of them trying to tell you that if you're used to a Wall, if you're transferring over from those, what they call a 1.6 would be a 0 for Wall, or Oster it would be a 1. Remember that ratcheting system is going to change what you get out of the combs and adjust these to more than just those. It gives you that conversion. That is actually really thoughtful of them. Their system also has some spaces that there is no equivalent to show you that they're saying, hey, we have even more variety. So let's take a look into the instruction manual. So what I noticed so far in the instructions that I like is they tell you everything that should be in the box just to make sure that there's nothing missing. Strangely enough, their brush that they're showing is different from the brush that I got, but I am thankful that I got this kind of brush. This brush is much better and has much better uses, better bristles than those little tiny ones. I am very excited to turn this thing on. Let's see what it can do. So I'm not planning on cutting off my beard, so I won't be doing too much grooming in here, but I will use 1 or 2 of the larger combs just to see if I can kind of take a little bit off of here and see how well it cuts. I am also going to see how well it will do line work. I don't pretend to be a barber, so I cheat. I use like a straight comb when I need straight lines. I will say the slider does take a little bit of getting used to. You can see how it definitely supposed to work is you press the little button and then slide on it. It does feel a little stiff. I don't mind it because it's fresh out of the box. I'd rather it feel stiff than rattling around or feel rickety. So let's turn this on for the first time and see how quiet it is. They were bragging on the box. Let's see what that is like. Okay. So I'll go ahead and talk while I have it on here. It is quiet. I will say it is quiet. I don't know what I really expected when it bragged to be one of the most quiet trimmers. It is more quiet than some other trimmers that I can see. I'll take another one out just to compare it. And that's it maxed out at 7,000 RPMs. Still relatively quiet. You can compare that to this other trimmer, Will Stay Nameless. So on the lowest setting, let's go back down. So what I will say is, it is quiet. It is a quiet trimmer. Is it gonna overly impress you with how quiet it is? Again, I don't know how important of a feature that is. The other thing I will say is that it is very quiet on its lowest setting. Its lowest setting is still 5,000 RPM, so it's not like that's some super low thing, but if you do turn it up to the 7,000, the max, you are going to get closer to what you kind of expect to hear when you're using a trimmer. I do like how clear it is when it lights up the little power button. High quality feel, not getting too much vibration. It looks like you can hold this thing with comfort no matter how you're holding it, whether you're holding it on this end here or you're using it in this direction, without accidental presses happening because of where they put it. So before we get to work on this, one of the things that I did pick up reading here that I found to be impressive is that not only did they give us the power brick to charge it, but it did specify saying that it can still be used while plugged in. So if you didn't charge this all the way and you don't mind it being tethered to that cord, probably why they gave you such a long cord in the first place, you can use it while plugged in. Let's see how well it cuts as we put it through its paces. So let's get the duck lips going. Alright, so quick pro tip, pay attention to where you have this setting is the micro ratcheting system. Initially when I turned it on, I think I had it at one of the lower settings. I had it at the 1.9 millimeter, which does give you some adjustments, but if you're looking for something very fine, you're gonna want to get the blades closest to the setting that I have it on now, which is just a flat 1.1 millimeter. Before I did that, I was kind of shying away from the performance of it and saying maybe this isn't very good at detailing. It is not going to be probably the best at detailing just because of the width of the blade, but it doesn't claim to be a detailer in this case. As long as I can just do the basics, get the hair away from the lips, I'll be happy with that. Haven't had any hair tugs, but I've done very little so far. So let's get to work. Fixed blade alternative this is not, but I don't think you expect it to be. When in doubt, go for the biggest guard possible, because you'd rather see that you're not taking off anything than see that you're taking off way too much. So a while ago, I did slip on the 18, was able to shape this up just a little bit. What I will say is just be careful that you are in the groove on here. Sometimes it will kind of slide past it. It's not impossible to see that it's lined up, but just make sure that you don't add that human error in there. Not that it doesn't secure itself. As you can see, it's pretty secure once you have it in there clicked in properly. I think I have seen enough of this thing to let you know whether or not I approve of this or not. So you might notice that my beard doesn't look fully finished, and the reason for that is I don't think you are going to love this when it comes to detailing. It is not a detailer, which doesn't really bother me. I normally do my perfect lineup work with a fixed blade, or I'll get a detailer. And if you're looking for a one and done, this might not be the device for you. But if you're looking for something that's going to handle a lot of beard, if you're a senior figure in the beard gang, or you're just looking for something to be able to take off a lot of hair and you're not concerned with intricate detailing, because you can do some detailing with this is going to be worth it for you, as it is worth it for me. Everything on this device device feels high end, right down to the type of brush, the innovation on the comb system. The screen, the LED screen, is one of the best that I have seen on a device. It clearly tells you how many minutes are left. It tells you what RPMs you're at. The quietness of the device, I will say it does deliver on how quiet it claims to be without being overly impressive. It's not like you're gonna not know that this thing is on, but you're definitely not disturbing anybody with this, even on the highest setting. Just to reiterate, if you're looking for a one and done, something that's gonna be a fine detailer, you are going to find this to be a little bit more challenging than some other things out on the market. But with that said, as far as what this is, just a trimmer just to be able to take off what you need to take off, or trim down what you need to trim down. This is definitely going to be making the cut for me, worth the purchase, but I'm looking forward to seeing if it makes the cut for you with the Beardscape V2. If you've gotten your hands on it, let me know what your experience is, what you guys think. Until the next time we're cutting up, stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, that should be enough for now.